Follow along as today I need to replace this entire old school fuse panel with a brand new one. Yeah, I'm a Danish electrician and these circuit breakers are from the 1940s to 60s, or some of them are, because some of them are also new, and then we have this chaos junction. On top of that we have a brand new fuse panel on top for a heat pump, so yep, a lot of things to do, and we need to replace it all with a brand new circuit breaker. Circuit breaker fuse panels, who cares what it's called? Here in Denmark, we usually just order one that's fully built on the go because it's a lot easier. And with that, I started to remove all of the covers to expose the good old covers and whatever we have behind it. And oh boy, I got a little bit scared when I saw all of this. But yeah, we gotta do what we gotta do. So we look here at the meter and we can see we have all three phases active, and we don't want that. So what do? Well, we jump outside to find the, whatever they're called in English, but in here we have the fuse panels for the entire house. Yep, not these boys are powering the street, but these boys here are powering the house. Actually quite big because they were 35 amps and usually we only have like 25 amps. Well, it's kind of on the smaller side today, but either way, now we have the entire meter gone. With the meter down, it's time to take the easy job. Let's remove the heat pump circuit breaker first. Boom, that's now all gone, and we still need to remove the backplate cover, and now that's also all gone. That's lovely. We need to make this cable a little bit longer later in the day, but also we have all of these white things here. I marked all of the cables with numbers so I can know where to put them in the end. Once again, this here's cable from circuit breaker number 6. It runs in here. Does it go on the outside? No, it actually runs down again and comes over here to one white and two black cables, and that was number 6. So basically I just numbered them all. We have the number 6 right here. We have cable number 7 here running over here. Where does that lead? It leads to a black and white wire that goes in there. Lovely. We don't make stuff like this anymore, but we have to work with the old school wiring in here. Saying that, look at these colors. Here neutral is blue. Following the neutral blue, we go up here. We have another 2 blues. But hiding in the back, we also have a neutral black. Yep, black in the old days were neutral. Do you think that's funny? Okay. Well, in the olden days, blue was also the live wire. So next to the 2 blues and the black neutral, we have 2 blacks and 2 blues as L2 and L3. To make sure I assemble everything exactly how I disassemble it, I take a video and of course write everything down, because yeah, you need to put every wire back exactly as it was before. Alright, it's time to remove the main source of power. Well, it's already turned off, but yeah, I of course mark all of the phases and the neutral again. And with that, the main cable is all gone. Lovely. At this stage, this wooden panel have been hanging here since the 1940s to 60s. I don't know when this was built, I didn't ask, but yep, let's just take the entire thing down, and would you look at that. Holy smokes, it's time to put all of this back together once again. So here we have the brand new fuse panel, and luckily this is all pre-built because, well, it's a lot easier when you just order them pre-built. And I simply just pull all of this away, and would you look at that, we now have a lot more pieces to put together. But what we need to do is take this bad boy and just put it on the wall, mark where it needs to go, and start drilling a little bit because, well, we need to get it up on the wall. Is it all level? Well, yeah, it's all level. That's lovely. Now I'm gonna disappoint a lot of people out there because I have something I really don't want you to share with anyone else. I didn't have the correct screws, so I ended up having to use, I don't really want to show it, a Phillips head screw. Yeah, I'm sorry, it's not Torx. I hate myself, but it was the only thing I had in the car. Torx 20 for the win. Either way, with that embarrassment out of the way, we need to cut this little metal plate here. So we just hit up the angle grinder, cut it all nice and done. And it's officially time to put back on the meter. Well, I don't have the qualifications to put back on a meter, so I have to get someone else to come and do it for me. That being the Danish supply company. Either way, right here we have a whole lot of cables that now all need to be extended to meet with their new circuit breakers. Is this a whole lot of mess to keep track of? Yes it is, but at least I can make the white wires become correctly colored wires. Then the guy with the new meter arrived and said, I need some power back. All right, here's some power for you. You have 3 phases, all good. And he was like, okay, here you have a brand new meter. Make sure not to cut the yellow things because, yep, we need to have the yellow things right there. But would you look at that? The meter part of the new fuse panel is now all done. All right, we still have all of these wires that needs to be extended because they need to go down to this circuit breaker. And at this point I was like, does the panel even fit? Yep, but we also need to extend this wire because it has to go all the way down to the bottom right circuit breaker. But to extend that I needed some power, so I tested the RCD before we could turn on the power. Did it pass the test? It sure did. That's lovely. And we also had these up here. These are RCBOs. RCBOs? Yep, it's a combination of a fuse and an RCD. I don't know what they're called. Yeah, it is RCBO. It just sounds strange saying it in English. Either way, it's a combination, and when we test these, we need to not have any wires plugged in yet. So without any wires plugged, I guess they're called mounted, we test it. You can also see it's now blue, then I turn it off, and then I turn it off. It's now black. Why is that? Well, if it's the fuse that pops, it turns black because, well, then you have the fuse popping, and if it's the RCD popping, it's blue, so it's a little indicator. Either way, we now also have some names on what all of the different grips do, and with that, we now have a brand new circuit breaker slash fuse panel here in Denmark, and it's a low-key lovely, I'm trying to explain why this is lovely to have in Denmark, but who cares when this is an English video. Catch y'all in the next one.